Hey everybody, it's Shakira. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video where I want to read to you guys this email that I got last week from someone claiming to be a gynecologist. Okay, I received the email on Thursday and I actually started to write this person back just because I had lots of thoughts on holistic remedies for anything, but especially for vaginal healing. So the person says, hello, I'm a gynecologist. Not impressed. Please tell me what scientific evidence you have that the vaginal steaming helps to regulate menstrual flow, helps with fibroids, ovarian cysts, yeast infections, etc. What a load of BS. So my first thought was, I don't know if I believe that this person is an actual gynecologist, but even if they are, I don't really care because people in white coats are not up here to me. I don't feel like they're better than me or that they know more than me, because usually if you bring up any type of holistic healing method to a doctor, they're going to tell you that you are crazy. They're going to dismiss it. They're not going to want to listen to it. They're going to give you the meds and send you on the way. So, but as a professional, like, the email sounded really unprofessional. And to address the scientific evidence, with all due respect to this doctor and others, you don't need scientific evidence when people have results. When people have experienced healing for all of these different ailments. So when I first heard of vaginal steaming, I did the research. I went and I looked up, what is this? And, you know, why is it so popular? A couple years ago it was popular because Gwyneth Paltrow mentioned that she does it. And I remember lots of, when I was Googling, lots of articles from gynecologists debunking or trying to debunk, saying you don't need to steam your vagina. Why would you? It's stupid. Doesn't make any sense, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, this is not a new practice. This is an ancient practice. The US is just catching up on it. And in that video in particular, where I did the vase steaming and I showed you guys how I do it, in the comments in that video, many people were talking about how, you know, in their culture, this is what they do after periods, after babies, after, or to treat several different ailments. So you don't need scientific evidence when you see healing, when you experience healing. The problem with doctors is that they need that scientific proof. They need the scientific evidence in order for them to say, okay, well, this will work. But then also, you know, if you watch documentaries like The Truth About Cancer, there are doctors or people that used to practice in the US that have had to leave because, as far as I understand, if you are a doctor or whatever, you cannot recommend holistic treatments to your patients. It's actually illegal, I believe. So, but the problem with that is that there are holistic remedies that would heal lots of things that people take medications for. But more and more people are giving up on you, Mr. or Mrs. Gynecologist, that email me, if you really are a doctor. We're giving up on you, and we are taking to the internet and YouTube and stuff like that because people like me share their stories and how they healed from you know, menstrual cramps, candida, BV, all these things at home. We don't need you anymore. More and more people are realizing that they don't need you. So that's why you're mad, because there's nothing that you can tell me about my body that I don't know. Other than if there's something growing up inside of me, like a tumor or something, which is not happening. You know, I'm not 100% anti-doctors. I feel like doctors have their place in the world as well, like for surgeries, for people that need surgery. Somebody needs a bone fixed, or you know, for severe cases of medical issues where I can't do nothing with. Like, I don't call myself a doctor. I don't call myself a anything other than a holistic health coach and somebody that is in love with fitness, is a fitness instructor, all those things. I'm not a doctor, and I didn't say that I was in any of my videos, especially the vase steaming video. However, I have experienced healing, holistic healing, absent of medicines and doctors telling me what to do. Again, doctors failed me. Doctors failed me, and they're failing so many people, and that's why they're coming to channels like mine and other channels for holistic healing. let's think about this for a second. And let me breathe, because I can't say this enough, that you don't need scientific evidence to prove that a remedy heals people when you have hundreds of thousands of people saying, I'm healed from this, and that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. But I have, here's your scientific evidence. Let's talk science really quick. Our cells recreate or reproduce themselves every month, every day, something like that. Something like every month. I will correct myself in the video. But they reproduce themselves and they heal. That's why you hear about people healing from cancer, healing from diabetes, healing from high blood pressure, healing from candida, healing from this, healing from that, healing from blah, blah, blah. The reason why you fell sick to begin with is because your diet was likely crappy, you likely did not work out, you likely did not eat lots of fruits and vegetables, and you were probably stressed out, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you had some weight you need to lose, whatever. Then, once you start eating an abundance of fruits and vegetables and raw foods and juices, and, you know, once you start following a healthy diet and lifestyle, then you start to experience healing. Your cells, because you're powering your cells, or you are fueling your cells with what it needs in order to operate at an optimal level, at a healing level. That way you heal on a cellular level, right? That sounds all fancy and whatnot, and I'm just doing that for people that need scientific proof, right? But there's your scientific proof and evidence and breakdown. I didn't make this up. This is just what's out there. This is what people need to be taught, other than take medicines, because here's another scientific cycle. This is proof, or there's more proof out there. All you gotta do is Google it. Once you start taking one medication, you will likely have a side effect. The side effects are listed in plain sight for everyone to see, but because lots of people aren't thinking for themselves, or maybe they're too scared to think for themselves. And I understand that, because when you start embarking on your own healing, and when you start like dismissing doctors and what they have to say about your health, when you once trusted them to help heal you, it can be scary, because what if you don't do the right thing, or blah, blah, blah. But you gotta let go of the fear and understand that all that you need is up here. I'm not saying never go see a doctor. I'm not saying that if you feel comfortable doing that. But just know that they're not going to say, yes, if you drink a green smoothie every day with spirulina and bee pollen, blah, blah, blah. Unless they're into that, they're not going to tell you to do that. It's not going to be their prescription. But anyway, you take one medication, and you got side effects for that medication. You got to take a medication for that medication, side effects. Then you got to take another medication for the second medication, side effects, and then you all of a sudden develop all of these things. You know, you develop all these things, and before you know it, you have your own 10 different meds. The problem with that is that these medications are toxic. They're synthetic, Mr. and Mrs. Gynecologist. These medications that your doctors give you are synthetic. They're not made in nature. That's why people get sick. That's why people die, because of overdoses or taking their prescription medications wrong. I'm not talking about opiates. I'm not talking about stuff that people abuse. I'm talking about legit medications that the doctor says, here, take, you're gonna be all right, and they end up not all right. Okay, when it's real simple to just say, eat more fruits and vegetables and move more. Now, it will be on the patient to do that, of course, but doctors, we are losing faith in you, because you are failing so many people. There's no reason why so many people have to suffer the way that they do, because they're getting the wrong advice. So my final thought on this email is, now it's just kind of like laughable, because I don't know, I just feel like a medical professional will be a lot more professional in their emailing, you know. And then also, I'm not afraid of anybody in a white coat or anybody that's gone to medical school, because I've done my own research. And then your best research project is yourself. You know, I have done trial and error on myself for years, until I got to the point where, you know, anytime there's an ailment, anytime I feel like something's going on, I have something in my medicine cabinet to fix it. I don't run to the doctor every time my child has a cold. I don't give my kids Tylenol when X, Y, and Z is going on. You know, and I'm not saying that you can't or you shouldn't or blah. I mean, I am saying that you shouldn't, but I know that some people, y'all feel comfortable doing that. But you do have the power to heal your own self. I'm not the first to say this. I'm not the last to say this. And I'm also not the first or the last to not be afraid or intimidated by a doctor, because likely I know more about, well, I do know more about my own body than they do, and my children, and even my family members, you know, and I have many stories of people healing, you know, simply by improving their diet and their, and exercising and whatnot. But I'm not afraid of any doctor. I'm not afraid to have any type of debate with a doctor either, because I have all the proof that I need. I don't have anything to prove to anybody in terms of what I know, you know, but doctors are afraid. They're getting afraid because the more you guys learn to heal your own selves, the less you're going to be coming to them and taking their medications, which they make money off of. And none of the stuff is, you know, you can look all the stuff up. The Truth About Cancer is a good documentary. And then there are tons of other documentaries on Netflix, like Fat, Sick, Nearly Dead, Food Inc., and Michael Pollan has one out as well that I just watched. But it's all out there for you guys to see. And I encourage you to take your health in your own hands, because nobody else is going to care more about you than you. Alright, so with that said, I'm going to close this video. I hope that you were encouraged by it. And I hope that this answered some questions for you. Whoever emailed me talking about you a gynecologist, all unprofessional. I do request that you stay on my inbox with negativity. Alright, and I will see and talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.